SDP, the Steve Dangle Podcast, with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Oh, hello, everybody. And as the three clowns are here.
Yep.
Haha, it's us. It is us. We got here with our big goofy shoes on in our colorful cars. And we got down here to Sport Check at Maple Leaf Square. They opened the store for us. It's Victoria Day, so nobody's actually open. But they are clearing up Maple Leaf Square right now as we speak.
They're tearing it down behind us.
Yeah.
It's a little on the nose.
I think they probably made that call around 9 minutes to go in the second period last night. They got the Penske truck rental ready to go.
Maybe
and said, "Hey guys, we should probably deconstruct this thing. It's over."
Did you notice the balloons in Union Station are already gone?
I haven't been into Union Station. Well, I don't go to Union Station.
They had this crazy balloon display right outside the main gate, right next to the huge poster.
Oh, right at gate one.
Playoffs 2025, and Austin Matthews isn't on it for some weird reason. And all the balloons are gone.
Yes, that came down like overnight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Do you think they popped the balloon one at a time? Just got sent people, interns in there with a pin and just pop.
No, they had to bite them with their teeth.
I would love to see that. All right, so here's how today's show is gonna go, just so you guys sort of know what to expect.
2 hours of unbridled read!
No, so we are going to talk about the game. And then after, we're going to talk about the ramifications of the game, and I'm sure both topics will spill over into each other. And because it was the long weekend, there wasn't a whole heck of a lot of news going on elsewhere. There are a couple news and notes we'll slip in at the end. But like, this is about as all Leafs as you're going to get, which I'm sure is what nobody's tuning in for. I'm sure fans of other markets definitely are not tuning in just for this. So we will start with Game 7. Leafs Panthers, Scotiabank Arena. And let me just throw this at you. Maple Leaf Square itself, 3,000 people.
Wow.
Now, behind Maple Leaf Square, there are overflows. And it goes blocks long. So where the Leafs play, if you've never been to Toronto, is just a few blocks away from where the Blue Jays play. Mm-hmm. And basically 3 blocks down, there were fences on the sidewalks, and because they had to keep the roads clear, fences on the sidewalk for people in overflow. There was probably 10,000 people outside last night.
If the Leafs ever made the Cup final, you could set up TVs all the way from Scotiabank Arena to the Rogers Center.
We probably wouldn't. If that ever happened, we probably would have to stay in the building here. Like, there are condos upstairs. We'd have to rent a condo. There'd be no way we could go home.
Oh,
like, how would we get down here?
How would you do it?
How would you get home? I don't think you could.
Ride on the side of the train, I guess. Like, I don't know how you would do it.
Like those crazy TikTok videos from India where they're like literally riding the side of the train.
They give me so much anxiety. There's the India ones, the Japan ones.
It's crazy. Oh, the Japan ones are crazy.
And I'm just like, I don't know. I'll play video games at home.
Yeah. So
I'm too old now. I'm afraid.
Going into this game, and obviously on the pre-show last night, Jesse and I talked about this is the game. Game 6 was the game. Now this was the game where we talk about whether this is the core that got it done, finally broke through. And when there's plenty of examples of that. I'm thinking about the early 90s Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm thinking about the late 90s Detroit Red Wings. I'm thinking about the 2017 Washington Capitals, teams that shoulda, coulda, woulda, and finally broke through. And then there were teams that just never did. And people are like, hey, like the Sharks or the Blues. No, those teams won series.
It's so insulting that Thornton and Marleau keep getting brought into this conversation. I don't remember the stats offhand, but Thornton and Marleau, if I'm not mistaken, won 9 playoff series each.
Since
multiple conference final appearances, they went to the Stanley Cup final. What are you talking about?
Since the lockout in 05-06, the Sabres have won more playoff rounds than the Leafs. And the Sabres haven't made the playoffs in 14 years.
Dan Tenser had one. The Oilers have won more playoff series, or as many playoff series in the last 3 weeks as the Leafs have in 20 years.
It's crazy. Now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, this has got to be a real, like, you're coming in and you feel the weight. You must feel the weight of the world if you're a player.
Yes, that is the one part of the narrative today that I'm sure we're going to pick apart limb by limb. That is true. Like, there's undoubtedly pressure that follows this team around. How could you say there isn't?
But beyond all that, you got to get in. You got to be a player. That's what it is.
It's your job.
And the Leafs, it was a question of what Leafs were we going to get? Were we going to get Game 5 Leafs or Game 6 Leafs? We were all hoping for Game 6 Leafs. And Jesse and Steve, after Game 5, were both just like Nostradamus, both of you.
What a waste of 4 days.
You guys said, hang on. You guys said, oh, they'll win Game 6. And then they'll do it heartbreaking fashion in Game 7.
And did they give us a single reason to believe they would win Game 6 after Game 5? No! But we all knew.
So,
easiest thing to predict in the world.
So, we get into this game. And for anybody that didn't watch, the Leafs were outchanced 21-0 to start the game.
Yeah. Yep. And only a third of those chances made it on net, so maybe they're good. No, you know what? It was a horrible start to the game. Other than the penalty at the end of the first period, you could very easily argue they were the better team after it was 21-0.
They had a good mid-first period.
Nylander had a really good chance to score. Lawton had a partial break. Lorentz had a break. And that might have been their last scoring chance. Honestly. Domi scored on, I don't know if, I guess it's a scoring chance. He scored. He scored. He scored. Okay. Lasted until the third period.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They let in the first goal and died. Like, how else do you... That is the most definitive for years. It's like, yeah, but we could blow it up, but what if they... You don't need any more proof than this.
No.
They allowed one goal, completely imploded, hugest margin of defeat for a home team in NHL history, tied. Get rid of whatever this is.
Now you are jumping ahead.
I know, but like, sorry, you got to keep me on track today, man. You got to keep me on track today.
So they come out of the first period. And they've killed that penalty. So good. And Chris Tanev had to take that penalty. It was a too many men on the ice penalty. If he hadn't touched the puck, there would have been a breakaway for the Panthers. So he did the right thing.
He probably did.
And so you go, okay, they killed the penalty, and Steve went, rah, afterwards. It was guttural. I was like, yeah, all right, let's go.
Because I still believed.
And I thought, like, here's an opportunity for the Leafs to, okay, you had a flat first period, nerves, whatever. Whew, calm down, get into the thing, come back out. And when they get into, because they were showing signs of life.
Huge signs of life. They could have easily won that game. After one, I wouldn't have been shocked. Are you kidding?
No. Not at all.
Gone either way.
Not at all. And so then we get into the second period, and 3 minutes and 15 seconds in, Seth Jones takes advantage of one of the worst Morgan Riley pinches I think I've ever seen. It was just flat out, and I'm not here to tear people to ribbons.
It's bad.
It was a really bad read, and it's a play that, and this is what the Leafs are constantly accused of in this era, or were constantly accused of in this era, because I believe this era is over. They were constantly accused of making the complicated play when the simple one would do. All Morgan had to do was gap up on his guy, let Seth Jones come to you, let the puck come to you, which is something Berube preaches, guys.
Yeah.
And he probably goes head-to-head with Seth Jones, and maybe Seth Jones even gets a shot off, but it might get deflected, or it goes to the thing. He doesn't have a wide open look at Joseph Woll. And so...
He places that shot beautifully.
Oh, it's a great shot.
Really good shot.
But that shot never needed to happen.
No.
Never needed to happen, and it was just because Morgan was like, I'm going to pinch now. Everybody get on board.
It's a terrible
And
choice.
it wasn't like a smart calculate. It's a low percentage play. Yeah. And in games like that kind of stuff kills you. Now, you think, okay, it's 1-0. And everybody in the chat for Steve, if you were watching, was like, okay, there's a lot of hockey to be played.
There was like 38 minutes left in regulation.
There's a lot of hockey to be played. Very
cow.
few teams, except for the Edmonton Oilers, win 1-0 in a playoff game and an elimination game.
Being down multiple goals is their superpower.
Yeah.
They probably have a winning record when down multiple goals.
Then, about 4 minutes later, it's Anton Lundell. And this line with Luosterainen and Marchand has just been a killer, guys. Absolute murder. Leafs had No answer for it the entire series.
It's so insane that the Panthers have Barkov and Baby Barkov. That's Lindell. Anton Lindell is Baby Barkov. Like, again, his tenure as a Panther, President's Trophy in second round, Cup final, Cup champions, and right now he's in the Final Four again. Like, I'm not saying he's the straw that stirs the drink, but it's nice to have him on board. Can't believe they have Baby Barkov. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Jesse, you saw all this game from above. Like,
yes, I watched the game like 2.5 times now.
You've watched it 2.5 times?
Yeah.
But you were actually there.
I watched it live, and then I watched the clips I make live, and then I watched it all back this morning.
So
I like to grind tape.
You like to grind tape.
Well,
Video coach Jesse.
You showed us a really good clip. I don't know if
I have a million of them. Like, if the first period in particular, you mentioned it, those first 10 minutes, some of the worst hockey I've seen the Leafs play in a 10-minute span until the second period came around. Because I think that second period, Jones scores there, but those first 3 minutes are ugly hockey.
Yeah.
Like, the first 3 minutes leading up to that goal, the Panthers made an adjustment in between the first intermission where they discovered if we attack the Leafs, they're gonna crumble. And on that play where Seth Jones hops up in the rush, that's something they were doing for the couple minutes before that, and maintaining opportunities where the D's just gonna come with everybody. Everybody's gonna rush the play, and the Leafs are playing back on their feet and allowing every opportunity that they want. And I don't think the Leafs won a single board battle in that first 10 minutes of that first period. And then they were like, all right, the next 10 minutes, because they had those chances like you talked about. And then in the second, that in the 9 years that they've all been together, what is it now? 9 years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That 1 second period, it was the most disgusting hockey I've ever seen them play.
I cannot believe the team we saw in the second out of the Leafs was the same team we saw for most of the first. Austin Matthews in the first period was a rabid animal.
Yeah, he was good.
He cleaned out everyone. And unfortunately, the Leafs were in their own zone too often when he was on the ice. He was winning draws. Jesse noticed. Well, what was the clip you showed us?
Yeah. That's the one I was bringing up here. So Austin Matthews is they're in the defensive zone. The Leafs are. Austin Matthews wins a clean face-off here. Over to the right side of where he's facing. The Leafs get the puck in the zone. They maintain possession. It's clean. They come around the back of the net and they lose possession to the Panthers. They try, I think is it Marner there? Or no, it's Tanev who has the puck. He tries to pass it over to Nyes and they lose this board battle and the Panthers get a clean shot on goal eventually after they muck up things and they get it back up top. Yeah. And they got a shot on goal. And that happened a million times in that first period and even more in the second period.
And Matthews was a complete animal. And it's the only reason they survived. And I don't know if it went away or if the Panthers just managed to get the puck away from them. They weren't even in that game. You know what? They were in that game for 5 seconds. Exactly 5 seconds in the third period. When Max Domi brings the team within 2, his reaction.
Hey, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
But I believe. I did believe.
Here's another example of just the Leafs crumbling and not being able to break out of their zone. I don't know what happens when they see the neutral zone coming at them, but for some reason they stop playing hockey.
It's scary.
Matthew Nyes has the puck. He gets a clean breakout. He has the puck on his stick, and Matthew Nyes decides to send a pass directly to the Panthers after he gets a little bit of pressure from Barkov. I don't understand the decision making.
Why is this going to the middle of the ice?
so it's Matthew Nyes. There's a puck. Mitch Marner's to his left. He decides Barkov's coming at me. I'm going to send this pass right to Seth Jones. And they lose possession. The Panthers get it, and they remain in the zone.
Look at Benoit. Look at poor Benny. With the craziest panic crossover, he is putting his whole damn body into, Shit.
It looks like you remember that, that Family Guy bit, fast animals, slow children. Like that's what he looks like. He's running, man.
For anybody who's a fan of hockey, it was disgusting display of hockey on the ice by the Toronto Maple Leafs. They didn't know how to play anymore, and that's what's so disappointing about these losses, because we know they have it in them. We know we've seen them play competent hockey, and in this second period, everything went out the window.
There's a channel I follow that uses footage and gets away with it, and bless them. We're not brave enough to do that, but
we'd never get away with it.
We would never get away with it.
Sportsnet would be all over our shit. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. That's a whole other issue, but it's hockey psychology. And they did a breakdown of the Leafs in Game 6. And here's what the Leafs did. Here's what the Panthers were doing. Here's how the Leafs completely neutralized it. And here's how they countered. And they waited and they waited. I cannot believe the same team that essentially performed brain surgery in Game 6 was this team losing at operation. Like, I cannot... It's difficult to wrap your head around. Like, I just did a CBC hit for News World, so it's not like the sports channel. And it's funny doing news hits about sports because they ask you very basic questions. And when they bring it to the most base level, it's actually kind of hard to answer. They're like, how is this team with all the money and all the resources and everything? Like, how is this the same team? Mm-hmm. How do they go from 6-1 to 2-0 to 6-1 again? Both of those 6-1s at home.
Yep.
The one thing, like, I believe the Panthers with, and again, we're going to get into this later, it's 1,000,000% between the ears. It's been between the ears for years. And Brendan Shanahan, like, this is hyperbolic. I mean, he's a member of the Hockey Hall of Fame. He should be unemployable.